Like, technology's changing faster and faster these days.
It's like we're on the edge of something huge, right?
Exactly. And Ray Kurzweil's book, The Singularity Is Near, really dives into that feeling.
He says it's not just a feeling, though, it's the lead up to the singularity.
So today we're taking a deep dive into Kurzweil's world, his bold predictions, what it all could mean for us, the whole shebang.
Absolutely. And what I find so intriguing is that Kurzweil firmly believes we're not just talking about some distant future here.
Right, this isn't like something for our grandkids to deal with.
Exactly. These are our problems, our generation.
So, okay, first things first, what even is this singularity thing? It's got to be more than just, like, technology getting better, right?
Well, he uses it to describe the point where tech is changing so fast, so radically, that it basically breaks history, like a before and after situation.
Okay, I'm getting, like, Planet of the Apes vibes here a little bit. But how do we even get to that point? It's not like someone's going to announce Singularity Day on the calendar, right?
Yeah. That's where Kurzweil's law of accelerating returns comes in. See, he's not just saying tech gets better. He's saying it gets better faster over time.
Okay, so it's not just a straight lineup. It's like exponential growth.
Exactly. Think about it like this. Your grandparents got their first TV, your parents got cable, and now you're streaming, what, like 10,000 shows on demand?
It's true. I haven't even turned on cable in, well, ever. But so how does he support this whole acceleration idea?
Well, he uses a pretty solid example, one we've all heard of, Moore's Law, the one about computer chips doubling in power every 2 years or so.
Right. I've definitely heard that one. But that still seems kind of like contained to computer chips, right?
Well, yeah, Moore's Law is about faster computers and all, but Kurzweil says it's like a little symbol, a microcosm of this bigger trend. He sees this exponential growth happening everywhere and says it's not random, it's actually woven into evolution itself.
Okay, now we're getting really out there. Evolution, like humans from monkeys evolution.
He believes evolution unfolds in these 6 epochs, almost like chapters in a history book, each more complex than the last. First, the universe forming, then stars, then planets, then bam, life.
Yeah.
We're in Epoch 5 right now, where human tech and intelligence are kind of, doing this dance.
So,
We're about to enter Epoch 6, where tech takes over, surpasses us. Think AI that can outthink us, nanotech that can build anything, atom by atom, biotech making aging a thing of the past. It's a lot to think about.
Like we've got Kurzweil predicting this wild future, this singularity thing, but how do we actually get from here to there? He talks about these 3 big revolutions happening, right?
Yeah, he calls them GNR, genetics, nanotechnology, and robotics. It's kind of like, remember those posters with the bands that had, like, each member's face kind of blended together? It's like that, but with these 3 fields all feeding off each other. Advances in one accelerate the others. It's like a feedback loop pushing us towards the singularity.
Okay, I like that. That's a good visual. So let's break down each of these band members, starting with G-genetics.
Genetics, yeah. This one hits close to home for everyone, right?
Definitely. We're talking about, like, rewriting our own biological code here.
Absolutely. And it's not just about treating diseases after they happen. It's about potentially preventing them entirely.
Imagine a world without cancer, Alzheimer's. Just poof, gone. I mean, we're already seeing the early stages of this with gene therapy and stuff, right?
Exactly. But Kurzweil says that's just the very tip of the iceberg. He points to work being done by scientists like Aubrey de Grey, who actually believes we can stop aging.
Wait, stop. Stop aging. Like, as in forever?
Yep. De Grey thinks of our bodies kind of like houses. They need upkeep. Aging is just damage building up, but what if we could repair that damage at, like, the cellular level?
Okay, so you're saying we'd be like our phones, constantly getting these software updates that, like, refresh everything and keep things running smoothly.
That's the idea. These information-based therapies would essentially update our biology, keep us young, healthy, indefinitely.
Okay, wow, that's mind-blowing. To live a long, healthy life without, like, worrying about your body falling apart. I mean, how would that even change how we think about life? That's wild.
It really is. And that's just one example of what he sees coming with the G revolution, right?
Yeah.
He predicts we'll eventually enhance our brains, our immune systems, maybe even adapt our bodies to totally different environments. It's like evolution on fast forward.
Okay, so we've conquered disease. We've cracked the code on aging. What's next? Bring on the N, nanotechnology.
Nanotechnology. Now we're talking about working with matter on the smallest level, like the atom.
Building stuff atom by atom. That's got to be, what, insanely precise.
Imagine tiny machines operating inside your body, repairing damage, delivering drugs with like pinpoint accuracy, even rebuilding entire organs.
So instead of mining for resources, we could just like assemble them atom by atom using nanotech.
You got it. It's not just about making new things, though. It's about recycling, rearranging existing matter on that tiniest level. The stuff you could do with manufacturing, materials, even energy. It's almost limitless.
Okay, so we've got self-healing bodies. We can create anything we can dream up, literally atom by atom. That just leaves us with our robotics. And I'm getting the feeling this isn't about like a better Roomba, right?
You're catching on. When Kurzweil's talking robotics, he means artificial intelligence, specifically what he calls strong AI.
All right, so we hear AI everywhere we turn these days. But this strong AI, what's that all about? Is it really that different?
It's not just about machines doing specific tasks better than us, like playing chess or recognizing faces. It's about machines that can think like us, or even better.
Machines that think. Now, that's when it starts to sound like, I don't know, a little too much like the Terminator movies, don't you think?
It might sound far-fetched, but Kurzweil actually thinks this is going to happen. He even predicts AI will reach human-level intelligence by, like, the 2040s. And because it can learn and change so quickly, well, it's going to surpass us pretty fast after that, he says.
So we're talking about AI that's not just a tool we use, but like a whole new form of intelligence. It's kind of evolving alongside us. It almost makes you wonder, what does that even mean for humanity then?
That's the big question, isn't it? And that's exactly what we'll dive into in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've got AI reaching human-level intelligence, but Kurzweil doesn't stop there, does he? It's
Yeah.
like he takes it to this whole other level, a place where things get really, I don't know, really wild.
He does, doesn't he? Mind-bendingly wild in some cases. And you're right, he doesn't stop at AI just becoming super smart. He goes into this whole idea of mind uploading.
Okay, mind uploading. That sounds like something straight out of a movie like The Matrix or something.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? We download our brains onto a hard drive.
Well, the idea is that you could actually scan your brain, everything, your memories, personality, your entire consciousness, and then transfer it to a computer. It'd be like making a digital copy of yourself.
Whoa. Okay, so then it's not just about AI becoming super intelligent. It's about us potentially like merging with technology in a way.
Exactly. Kurzweil believes that the further technology goes, that line between, biological and artificial intelligence, it's just going to keep getting blurrier and blurrier. Maybe we enhance our brains with implants, connect to the internet directly, or even exist as like purely digital beings inside these giant virtual worlds.
And with nanotech making these super realistic virtual realities possible, I mean, what even is reality at that point, right?
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? It's a question that, well, people have been asking that for centuries, but it takes on a whole new meaning now. Imagine a virtual world so real, so immersive, that you could spend years in it, decades even, and never even realize it wasn't, quote unquote, real.
Of almost too much to even imagine. But, I got to say, not everyone is on board with Kurzweil's vision. Some people say he's way too optimistic, that he doesn't really consider the risks. Maybe this whole singularity thing is more hype than reality. What do you think about all that?
There are definitely some valid criticisms out there. Some experts think Kurzweil's timeline is way too aggressive, that those big breakthroughs he talks about are a lot further away than he thinks. And then there's the whole other side of things. What happens if AI gets too smart? What about the ethics of things like mind uploading, And what about the stuff we can't even predict right now, those unintended consequences? There's a lot to consider.
So it's not all like sunshine and rainbows in singularity land.
Definitely not. And Kurzweil himself even says there are potential dangers. He really stresses that it's important to develop these technologies responsibly, ethically, with safeguards in place. But he comes back to this idea that the potential benefits, they outweigh the risks. Eradicating disease, fixing climate change, maybe even understanding the universe in a whole new way.
So where does that leave us then? It's like we're standing on the edge of, well, the unknown. So much promise, but also some potential dangers too.
I think that's a great way to put it. Kurzweil's book, it doesn't give us any easy answers, but it really makes us think, like, what does it even mean to be human in a world where technology is changing so quickly? What kind of choices are we going to face as AI gets more advanced? And how do we make sure that all this amazing tech is used for good? It's a lot to think about.
It really is. It feels like he's throwing down a challenge for all of us, not just for, the scientists and engineers.
Absolutely. And whether or not you agree with him on the timeline or the details, he makes some really interesting points about technology, about intelligence, about consciousness, and about humanity's place in the universe. These aren't just like abstract ideas anymore. They're conversations that are going to shape the future. And the most important thing is that we're actually starting to have these conversations now.
That's a great point. And on that note, that feels like a good place to wrap up our deep dive for today. Join us next time as we continue to explore all this amazing technology and what it means for our world.